Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Chuckran and I'm an IFBB Pro Bikini athlete. I wanted to come on here and just share with all of you my journey as a fitness competitor as well as my experiences working with Rosetti as a coach and also what we hope to accomplish with Rosetti Elite Fitness athletes. My story begins at a very young age, I guess. I was homeschooled when I was from the time I was 5 years old in kindergarten through 12th grade, which means a couple of things. I was this huge nerd growing up, and I did not have the opportunity to be involved in any type of competitive sports, even though I would have absolutely loved to have that chance. In fact, I told my mom when I was, I think, 6 years old that I wanted to be a competitive rollerblader in the Olympics, but since that has never officially become a team sport, I haven't had that opportunity either. Fast forward to when I was 16 years old, I had this severe injury and had to undergo a complete reconstructive knee surgery as a result of it. My ACL ligament was replaced, my meniscus was sewn back together, and my doctor told me I would never be able to do any high-impact exercises like running or squatting or lunging ever again in my entire life. Fortunately, I do them all now and all the time. It definitely took a lot of muscle rebuilding in order to get to that point, but I'm very happy I proved him wrong on that one. I began as a competitor when I was Googling scholarships online as a 19-year-old trying to pay for school. And lo and behold, pageants came up. And again, I was like the last person in the world you would ever imagine to be a pageant competitor. I was kind of like this little nerdy college student that wasn't very outgoing, and I decided, hey, whatever, I'm just gonna go for it. So I started competing in the Miss America program and then switched over to the Miss USA program where I won Miss Alaska USA in 2011. So I had the opportunity to compete in the Miss USA pageant, which is co-owned by Donald Trump and NBC. An amazing opportunity, and I still keep in touch with all of my pageant friends and all of the great contacts I met during that time of my life. I also paid for school debt-free, which was awesome. But after I gave up my title as Miss Alaska, I had this huge void in my life. I was no longer able to have this stage hobby that I'd been doing for the last 5 years and needed something to fulfill that. So I had a few people talk me into competing in a local NPC contest in Alaska. And my first time, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing as far as the fitness competitor goes. I always, of course, enjoyed working out. I love lifting weights. It was kind of a fun hobby of mine anyway. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I did, you know, the crazy chicken, brown rice, and broccoli, that's all I ate for 3 months diet. And I did come in second, but I knew that I hadn't reached my full potential at that point and that I needed to figure out a way to push myself even harder. Through a series of completely divine coincidence, or if you can even call that, I was led to a certain team, and Rosetti was coaching with them at the time. I kind of joined thinking, well, you know, they know what they're doing, and I want to do my best, and if they can bring me to my full potential, I'm just going to listen to whatever they say. So that's how I started working with Rosetti, and I was shocked, of course, when the diet had a bunch of really amazing, yummy foods like fruit and carbs and all these wonderful things that I hadn't been eating for a really long time because I had really been through the gamut of dieting and been given a lot of misinformation. I been, you know, on the low carb diet, the paleo, the everything, and just hadn't really found anything that had worked for my body type. But beginning in February of this last year, as I started this training program designed by Rob Rosetti, along with the diet designed by Rob, my body completely transformed, and it was amazing and a very incredible feeling, because finally I felt, wow, here I am, I can do this. I know I can push myself through all these workouts. They were extraordinarily hard, but at the same time it was something that was a completely new way of working out for me. And I really enjoyed it, and my body just started running like a machine, and I got into the workouts and the cardio and embraced it. And so I competed in a couple shows this year. First one out of state was in Pittsburgh in June, and I ended up coming in 3rd place at that show, which I was more than ecstatic over. I did not expect that, because it was a large show and my first show out of Alaska. And then after training really hard, I competed at Team Universe, where I received my pro card by winning 1st place in my class. And that's kind of how I came through the full range of competitions and all of the craziness that comes along with it. I've learned a lot about myself and about how to diet properly and in a healthy way, and a lot of that information came to me through Rob Rosetti. And the really cool thing about Rob was that he really took the time to figure out who you were as a person, to figure out your personal goals, and take you in hand and guide you through, especially that last month leading up to my pro card win. He was in contact with me almost every single day. He knew exactly when I was going to be at the gym and texting me, work hard today, and giving me those little motivational pushes, adjusting things here and there as needed. And I felt like I was 100% in good hands, and that I had nothing to worry about going into Team Universe. And having a coach that is kind of fighting for you almost and motivating you, and especially when you are working so hard, your mind can throw all these crazy things and you have all of this self-doubt. But to have someone there to ground you and to say, hey, you're doing awesome, you are going to do even better because I know you have it in you, and I'm going to make sure this happens, is very reassuring, and it kind of brings out the best in you as an athlete. So when Rob left the team he was with originally, I of course wanted to continue working with him, because he had done so well as my coach up to that point, and he had worked so hard on designing a plan and diet and everything around my specific needs. So I was more than thrilled when he came to me and said, Jessica, how would you like to come and partner with me and start a fitness team of girls? We'll, work on developing everyone's individual strengths and even developing those weaknesses. I really want this to be a personal team where every girl feels like she's spoken to individually. So that's kind of where I came in on this. And of course, I've always had it in my heart. I love helping people. So when Rob told me that, I was like, oh yes, I'd love to do this, because I really want to, bring out the best in other people too. And so we started Rosetti Elite Fitness Athletes, and our goal as a competition team is to take women who are amazing on their own and just transform them into these beautiful butterflies that are dynamic and inconquerable. We want to take the time to develop each one of their specific plans and form it directly around what they need, how their lifestyle is at the time, and so they can integrate it into their lives and it can become something that they live. And I think as a team that is just going to transform the world of fitness.